There's an issue that has come up a lot lately, and I also see it greatly affecting my life and the lives of others, and that's the overabundant usage of social technology in our everyday lives and how it's consuming us more than we like to think. On sites like Facebook and Twitter, we're putting up a social barrier, almost this proverbial wall, that keeps us separated between our true selves and our friends. I mean, how many of those faces do you know personally on your friends list? I would guess not too many. And for Facebook to be a means for us to communicate through typed words and pictures only keeps us more controlled by the powers that be. The industries. Texting is not a way to show love, but instead sitting at a table, laughing, expressing your desires is. That's how we should do it. We should not be subscribed to a grand scheme. We are not mere avatars of someone else's vision like Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates. Yes, they created great ideas and great technology, but we are too reliant on it, which not only fills their pockets, but fills their grand vision of control. Have you ever seen the Apple Store on the day of a new release, like the iPad or the new iPhone? You see the line out the door? That's social hysteria. That's unhealthy. We're not animals. We're human beings. You know, foundations like our schools, our churches, our friends, our family, our own self-beliefs, our faith, should be the guiding light in our everyday lives. Let's take the Romans, for example. They didn't have an iPod or a Twitter to broadcast their territorial conquests towards Carthage, or battle the Goths with great advanced electronic technology. Or let's use the 1920s, our grandparents, for example. They ran stores. They fought in a few wars, not the Iraq War. I'm talking World War. World War I and II. They also survived a little thing called the Great Depression that many of you may have read in your history books and may remember. Our grandparents had to stand in freezing cold conditions on food lines just to get their next meal. Ask them if they had Twitter to communicate back and forth their needs. I don't think it would have mattered. I don't think they needed it. Did they have an iPhone or an Xbox? No. They went swing dancing. They sold newspapers in the winter, in the freezing cold conditions. They invented the Ford Model T. They banded together during times of prohibition or after to celebrate life's existence. They built the Hoover Dam together. You know, the Industrial Revolution, does it ring a bell? Look, social networking reminds me a lot of the Berlin Wall of the 1960s. If I can make a cultural reference here. It's keeping us suppressed and at bay. It's keeping us boxed in. I mean, you ever see World of Warcraft? You ever see us human beings subscribing to this avatar-like system that's keeping us so socially phobic and depressed? Real people, real connections, my ass, Mark Zuckerberg. That's just not the case. Cyberspace is not reality. Never will. It'll never have that human element that only the eye and the soul and the voice can feel and see. We're human beings. Social networking is not bettering mankind by any means. Projects like Kennedy's Space Shuttle program to the moon, tangible creations, are helping us find out our worldly existence a lot better than social networking. And to be honest, if we continue with this trajectory, we're not going to get far as a culture. And I think our greatest of ancestors would look highly down on this. So that's why we need to get outside and change the world with our own hands and feet, just like they would do it. Thank you very much.
You, a poem by Zumri Mohammed. What is it to feel broken? Never one thing of it to be spoken. Deprived of dear ones, drained of tears none. Never again to be entertained, not to be nurtured, once stained. to be seduced in laughter, and to be strained in disaster, harassed in our hearts, haunted even in thoughts. And when your eyes are dry, with no tears to cry, when you are never seen, and not even shown unseen, now is not the time to wither. It's now your turn, brother. The world is calling your sense, but the call is of silence. It's time to put yourself together. It's time for you to be your sister. You've been through the trials of test. It's time to rise from rest. Now is the time to stay alive. Now is the time to stand and live. The dawn you see you, the world shall know you.